we can
So,
investigate also.
yeah, before we discuss the metacarpal shaft fracture, I would like to discuss some relevant anatomy about the metacarpal in the hand. As we all know, second and third metacarpal, it angulates, and I mean the second and third metacarpal base. Sorry, yeah. So second and third metacarpal behave as a fixed unit with the carpometacarpal joint, and they do not have any mobility there. And in fourth and fifth metacarpal, they have 20-degree or 15 to 20-degree movement at the carpometacarpal joint. In the metacarpal, on the head part of the metacarpal, there are recesses on either side. They give attachment to the collateral ligaments. Because of this pertinent anatomy, second and third metacarpal accepts 5-degree angulation and no shortening, and fourth and fifth metacarpal shaft fracture, they accept 15 degree of angulation and 2 millimeters of shortening. If the shortening and angulation is more, the grip strength of the hand is certainly weakened. Another important anatomical aspect is second and third metacarpal base, they receive important big tendon insertions like wrist extensor ECRL inserts at the base of second metacarpal, and ECRB is inserted at the base of third metacarpal, and ECU is inserted at the fifth metacarpal base. Here important point is fourth metacarpal does not receive any attachment, and these tendons when they act, they have default, I mean they contribute to the fracture displacement. Now otherwise metacarpal fractures are same classified as per the any long bone fractures in the human body. There could be a short oblique fractures, there could be a transverse fracture, there could be a oblique fracture or fractures around the joint. But the main concern here is there could be a shortening, there could be a angulation and rotation. These are the main concern. When we consider a rotational malalignment, which is shown in this picture, the little finger is turned on the outer aspect or the ulnar side, and the right hand of the ring finger is little finger is shortened as compared to the left hand. Now if you see, the indications for fixation are irreducible fractures, unstable fractures, intra-articular fractures, multiple fractures, and fractures with the bone loss. These are the indications for fixation. Metacarpal head fractures. The mechanism of, now we will see each and every anatomical part with one simple example. Usually head of the metacarpal gets fractured in case of axial loading and direct trauma to the hand, or sometime in a in the revenge of anger, if somebody bangs his hand on the wall, then they get a injury to the head of the metacarpal. As discussed, we usually should get a Brewerton view as shown in the X-ray picture. Let us take a treatment option if the articular fragments are not completely involved or less than 25% involved, and the 1 millimeter only, I mean the step less than a millimeter or 2 millimeter step, then we can consider a conservative treatment. Otherwise, the option of open reduction and interfixation is there, but sometimes the head is so comminuted that salvage option of a arthroplasty may have to consider. Let us take one example. If you see this X-ray, 30-year-old female, and if you see this X-ray on a AP view, the metacarpal head is flattened, and on an oblique view, the head is seems to be fractured, which was treated by open reduction and internal fixation with the screw. I have used a simple screw, but the best choice of implant here would be headless compression screw, so that it does not, the screw head gets sunk into the bone and it does not interfere with the movement. Now, if you discuss about metacarpal neck fractures, it is most commonly seen in ring and small finger. Though we label them as a boxer's fracture, it is rarely seen in boxers and commonly seen in street fighters, or somebody hits on a solid or a hard object, then such fractures can happen. When the angulation is accepted and if there is no rotational malalignment, we can treat these fractures by conservative treatment as mentioned in the picture. The maneuver is called Jazz maneuver, where we flex the PIP joint and we flex the MCP joint, and we try to push or reduce the metacarpal head fracture by pushing the proximal phalanx onto the head. But now let us take an example of a short oblique fifth metacarpal distal fractures, where these types of fractures are reasonably rotationally unstable. And the best way to fix this fracture is by close reduction and a bouquet technique. In this technique, as discussed, the 2 mm hole is created on the proximal part of the shaft, and 1 mm wire, by cutting their distal tip, we insert and we maintain the proper alignment and angulation is corrected. So that was a distal shaft fracture. Here the X-ray shown, here we see a sometime a significantly angulated fracture at the neck level, 60-degree angulation. This is not accepted because sometimes this fracture can cause, the displaced fracture can cause palpable bone in the palmar aspect of the hand, and they can be treated by a bouquet technique. So another example here, the bone contact of a metacarpal head with the neck or with the shaft of the metacarpal is not there. Such fractures are completely unstable. I have found difficulty in reducing and fixing them with the bouquet technique. So another way of fixing them is, after reduction, you pass a wire distal to proximal. But here, sometime your wire may go from a sagittal band or a lateral recess, which can cause MCP joint stiffness during mobilization. That was about the metacarpal neck fractures. In metacarpal shaft fracture, we have to have these four parameters. If the fractures are completely displaced, or if they show rotational malalignment, and if the angulation is more than 15 degrees, and if the fracture configuration is comminuted and displacement, we need to fix them by surgical intervention. In multiple fractures, it is necessary to fix these fractures, otherwise the stiffness is unavoidable, and sometimes we have to fix this fracture by interfragmentary compression screws. And remember, when we have multiple fragments, the multiple fractures of the metacarpal, the approach is, when you want to fix the second and third metacarpal, then you have to use second intermetacarpal space as a incision and approach to these two fractures. And when you want to fix fourth and fifth metacarpal, you have to take incision on the fourth intermetacarpal space. So let us take another example. These are the patient is having, in this X-ray as shown, third and fourth metacarpal long spiral oblique fracture. But when we see these X-ray, do not miss the fifth metacarpal base fracture also while fixing this. So otherwise, as we have discussed why they are important, I will tell you again. So this is one way of fixing the spiral oblique fracture by cerclage wiring. Very thin gauge wires we can use on circumferentially to fix this fracture. And fifth metacarpal fracture has to be fixed, the base fracture has to be fixed. Sometime you get such spiral oblique fractures. These are reasonably unstable fracture. Sometimes the general attitude is, if the central bone of the hand, that is third metacarpal, is fractured, then usually we can have a reasonably good function. But it does not, that is not true. In this as shown, this is the absolutely wrong way to do a strapping of any metacarpal fractures. Reduction cannot be maintained in a spiral oblique fracture, and rotational malalignment is always the rule. So this was the X-ray after removal the strapping. Just see the skin maceration at the MCP joint crease, and this has happened within 8 days of strapping, and patient was advised strapping for 3 weeks to continue. But then such fractures being spiral oblique, I had fixed with the rotational malalignment, and immediately on day 1 with the dorsal slab we start the movement. And usually these fractures heal in 1.5 to 2 months, but our functional recovery is achieved very soon, and usually they do not land up in any deformity. Look at the knuckle prominence of third metacarpal after the plating. So they usually have near normal function of the hand. Let us take now, sometimes the transverse fractures of the metacarpal shaft, if they are angulated and they are moderately displaced, they can be accepted by conservative treatment method of treatment. But here the problem is, these two bones have significant shortening, more than 5 mm shortening. Now we have to always remember, whenever somebody makes a grip of the hand, the ulnar aspect of the hand has to be stronger. Here, as shown in the X-ray, fourth and fifth metacarpal are fractured, so the grip of the hand will be significantly reduced. And as there is a shortening and angulation, the prominence of fourth and fifth metacarpophalangeal joint knuckles will be always lost. So such fractures are being unstable. We would prefer to treat them by plating. That is the reason for doing plating is we can start mobilization early. And now if you see, the height of the metacarpals have reasonably regained well after the fixation. Now, so we see this X-ray. It's a long oblique third metacarpal shaft fracture. Don't miss now here, if we concentrate only on the metacarpal shaft, always look for associated injuries. This patient had a first metacarpal base fracture also. Usually we get the opinion on WhatsApp, what is the treatment, and then we suggest the treatment to the concerned orthopedic surgeon. But always ask them to show the photograph of the hand as well. The same patient with these two fractures had a full blown compartment syndrome, and I had to do the first compartment release. And after the compartment release, the swelling became significantly less, and in the same sitting I had done a fixation of third metacarpal shaft with interfrac screws, and first metacarpal base I had to put a wire. Now after the shaft fractures, the last method is fourth, I mean the last way part of the metacarpal fracture is base fracture. Fourth and fifth metacarpal base fractures, they are called reverse Bennett fracture. And usually this one bone, fifth metacarpal base and fourth metacarpal base, they articulate with one bone, that is hamate. These fractures are reasonably unstable because of three reasons. The acting forces on these metacarpal base is very strong by the extensor and flexor tendons, as well as adductor digiti minimi tendon, I mean the muscle. And the surface of the hamate is oblique. So whenever they have a fracture, there is significant amount of displacement. And these fractures, if they malunite, they have significant pain and reasonably early setting up of arthritis in the carpometacarpal joint. So such fractures have to be treated by, I mean, I have chosen to treat this fracture by K-wiring and uniplanar Jess fixator. So you get a reasonably good alignment of the fifth metacarpal, and the entire fourth and fifth metacarpal unit and the articular surface has been congruent well, and the reduction has been achieved in a well manner. So this is 10 days post-op. You can start movement immediately after the surgery, and this is the movement, I mean the function at 2.5 months. So sometime you get a rare entity that is called Lisfrank's fracture dislocation in the hand. You see, because second metacarpal base has a fixed unit with the carpometacarpal joint, it has not displaced. But otherwise, third, fourth, and fifth metacarpal base have completely displaced from the carpometacarpal joint. Usually, they need a CT scan for understanding the fracture anatomy and the displacement and articular fragments, and they usually need a fixation from metacarpal to carpus, and they usually have good function if you stabilize them. Message here is, there are three problems in the metacarpal fractures, and they are real indication for surgery. One is rotational malalignment, second is deformity, and third is shortening. And conservative treatment is the way to treat these fractures, but then that needs very regular follow. Always look for associated injuries, like if you are treating a third and fourth metacarpal base, always look for thumb metacarpal as well. Always look for a soft tissue injuries and compartment syndrome. And complete function should be the goal, whether you treat or choose to treat them conservatively or surgically. Thank you so much. I thank Dr. Amit and team for giving me an opportunity.